it's come to my attention that there are a lot of people dating in their 80s, and how to spark a woman's interest. A man by 80 should have self-confidence. He should have like some great restaurants to go to, maybe just even doing a drive up the coast, something like that, but something that he knows. He knows how to be entertaining in a light way. I mean, and I would say start out really as friends, because I mean, women by 80 have been through everything. You know, probably with LA, a lot of rejection and divorces and children and exes' children. I mean, there's just so much that I think one has to tread really lightly and honestly. Honesty is the most attractive thing in another person, is really the mind. I mean, granted, having a good-looking man is always hot stuff, but pending that, they have to have something real. A man has to make something of his life. It's not very attractive to get to be 80 and not know what makes life tick, you know. There's a fellow that takes me out to lunch, and actually I have a couple of friends that do that, guys that take me out just because we've known each other for so long. It's nice to connect, you know, once a week, twice a week, you know, how's life been, what are you doing? And we have things that we do together, you know, just as friends, and that works. But I think for it to get any more serious, there has to be, I would like to go into that man's lifestyle, and if it's not attractive for me, I'm not going into anybody's lifestyle. It's really okay to have separate hobbies. You also don't want to be doing the same thing all the time. I mean, it's nice, you know, if somebody wants to write music with me or listen to me practice the piano, I'm all for it. But I don't expect that. I expect them to appreciate what I do and what I have. And it has to be from a very high level. I cannot tolerate a man who thinks, oh, that's a nice little hobby you do. Isn't that, excuse me? You know, I'm going for Carnegie Hall. I do not play small. So actually I need somebody who plays bigger than life, you know. But they have to be sharp and smart. A sharp person has something going at all times. I mean, even if they're driving, even if you don't have anything to say, you have to know that that other person is together, you know, is sharp, whatever. I mean, I'm certainly going to be different from other people. And, you know, that's the thing. We have to find somebody who fits into our lifestyle. I've gone out with men who talk about their ex-wives or, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't mind that, because it's real, you know. They had a real relationship for 20, 30 years. I don't expect that to be erased. You know, it's just like being straight with each other. I'm on a spiritual path. I'm a vegan. I meditate. I am I'm very interested in the spiritual life. So I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't want anybody else who's inebriated, because there is no one there you're talking to. You're talking to the drinking, you're talking to the drug, you know. I want a person who's clean in his own world. You know, you don't know what you're getting when somebody's drinking. You know, what's the purpose? Oh, great fun at a party, and then it's just a matter of time. Cannot tell you how many stories I know. I've been to so many beautiful weddings in my day, beautiful weddings. And I said, oh, well, how's so-and-so doing? Oh, well, they got into cocaine, and that's that, and they're suing each other. And I know, you know, big timers. and I've had people make fun of me, you know, oh gosh, you're no fun. But, you know, I last. My life is interesting and exciting, and most of those people are long gone. Clean living is what it's all about. I mean, I can sit here and enjoy the boats. I mean, this is the most beautiful air on earth. We're in Los Angeles, but we're on the coast of Los Angeles, so we get the beautiful breeze. It's just gorgeous here. And I'm so lucky and I'm so thankful. As you know, any time along the way, I know people can get trapped into drugs. I mean, I literally, you know, I was going with a billionaire who, you don't do drugs, that's no fun. You know, it's not a life I want to lead. I want to be a good, moral, upstanding member of society, and I'm not like good house geeky. I mean, I'm very interesting and fun, and I want to travel, but I don't want to go down the sewer pipe to do it. You cannot make somebody else be a good person. You can try. Somebody said to me, well, what are you looking for? And I said, well, George Clooney would be a star, you know. That was the end of that. But it's I don't want to say it's I mean, we're having a talk, like a girl talk. But when a guy says that to me, what do you expect I'm going to say? Go through the dictionary and list every adjective that is positive? No, so cut to the chase, cut him out. You know, boom. Yeah, George Clooney. He's married, however, but you know, somebody like that. You know, a house in Italy, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. Well, I'm a fairly unique person in that one of my best husbands was spiritual, and if he hadn't gone off the rails, I mean, that would have been it for me, because there is a person who is truly spiritual. I don't mean, you know, goes to church and then comes home is a different person, but somebody who has the goodness and the excitement of spirituality. See, for me, spirituality is so exciting because now there is so much that you can do. I mean, there are, and it's an exploration. It's never an end game. So, you know, you might study mysticism, you might travel to Tibet. That's what I mean when I say spirituality. It's like there is never a time that there isn't something fascinating to learn. I had the most beautiful first date once. So I wouldn't go out with this guy. And I mean, it just did not seem appropriate. And so, I mean, I have to hand it to him. It was so quick. So he said, well, there's an opera opening tomorrow night. Would you like to go to the opera? And I said, oh God, I'd love to go to the opera. And so we had, like, you know, almost front row seats to the opera. And he'd planned a vegetarian meal at this wonderful vegetarian restaurant. It turns out I knew everybody there. But it was so thoughtful, and a dozen roses. The only thing missing, I always say, was the limo. But, you know, I was willing to go to the opera. And it really made me think of him in a new way. It's not like I just, you know, it wasn't just about the cost of it, but I thought, oh my God, like, he's playing with both oars in the water. You know, because most guys are like, well, you want some coffee? I'm like, hey, I got a lot at home. So, but when they offer something really special, and I was into music, so the opera was wonderful, and I really gave him a chance. I tried. And in fact, I was attracted to him, but he was so young, and he was young in other ways, you know, like hanging out with the guys and drinking all that. it just was not going to work. So I didn't let it get any further. But like I always think well of him. You know, it was a wonderful date, and I did enjoy his company. He was an interesting person. So, you know, but I think he knew how to handle women. I think he was pretty good at it. And so it was difficult for me, but that's when I really I have to stay true to my values. You know, if I don't see it working out, I'm not going to play through all that game. And for their sake, I don't want to, you know, pull somebody in and not be interested in them. Well, it's integrity. You know, I expect integrity and I give integrity. Even if I'm not in love with somebody, if somebody wants to be my friend and we do interesting things together, I'm fine with that. You know, I'm not desperate anymore. The hormones are not driving me into their house. So it's actually nicer because it's a balanced situation. My second husband was actually a marvelous cook. He didn't want to, but we all told him to that he should open a restaurant, because I think we would have hit, you know, pay dirt, but didn't happen. Yeah, he was a wonderful cook. And it was he loved to cook. It was like entertainment for him. So he loved people coming over, because then he'd have an excuse. You know, for 2 people, you cook, you know, 3 ounces of something. But if you have 5 or 6 people over, you know, it's like a party, and everybody, well, what do you want, and what do you want, and oh, I'll do this, and, you know. And I will say, I did Airbnb. I will tell a fun story. And I had a couple from China, and I had never really, I don't want to say intimate, but, you know, knew them like closely. You know, I didn't have any close friends who were straight from China. So they did Airbnb at my townhouse, and they were so sweet. And the man said to me, well, do you want me to make you dinner tonight? I was like, okay. You know, I mean, I've never had somebody come to my house just to make dinner. And then he said, well, come on, let's go to the store and get all stuff fresh. So I said, okay. You know, so we went to the store and shopped, and he bought everything, and he made a Chinese dish. It was one of those big soups that they make. It's not my favorite thing to eat, but it was just so wonderful that he just wanted to share his culture with me, you know, he and his wife. But she didn't do any cooking or was not interested in any of it. It was just he and I went shopping, and we got everything. He chopped everything up fresh, and it was so sweet. So I think it shows a real giving nature, you know, when you cook for others and you include them. You know, you don't just eat your little thing in the corner and then all done. You know, when you invite, it's like a party. It's nice.